We're good everywhere. Uh, Thank you, AT&T. My gosh, how fantastic is that? Uh, I need to figure out how I can make both of these cameras show me the same way, but I don't guess I can. Good morning, Brittany. Okay, so lots of good stuff happening with Larry's kids and everything else. I found out also, or I didn't find out, I had a phone call yesterday evening from Dr. B. Y'all not gonna believe where he was. Mar-a-Lago. With Robert Kennedy Jr. I sure hope the president nominates him for something. He was so excited. There's Dr. B and Robert Kennedy Jr. at Mar-a-Lago. He says, I was invited to Palm Beach yesterday to meet with RFK. I hope Trump knows I would do him proud. I said, the people that I know in the administration, I'll pass it on. Danny's in. So, that's pretty doggone neat. That's Dr. B yesterday at Mar-a-Lago with RFK Jr. So when the prez gets you in there, of course he knows Donald Trump. When Trump was in office, when COVID hit, one of the first people he contacted was Dr. B. Okay, so Danny's in, Brittany's in. I also found out from our lady in Cleburne, this is not just her asking these questions. It's a little community of people down there. So I was gonna say, man, she's gonna go broke buying stuff for the kids. So do I have it right, Brittany? 3 bikes, 16 helmets, and 19 toys. Yeah, that's a special honor. There he is again. He called me at 1:15 this morning. That's Robert Kennedy Jr. and Dr. B. He was invited to Mar-a-Lago. Pretty doggone special. 4, 16, and 19. How did I mess up? So it's 4. Oh yeah, I've got it. I didn't look down far enough. 4, 16, and 19. So that is not one individual. That is a group of people in Cleburne that she said, we've been donating to your deal for years, which I know she has. I just didn't know there was several of them. I can't tell you how much I'm excited about this internet. It just instantly works. It's unbelievable. Every place where I've got Spectrum, they're fixing to be changed. And it's less than half the price. Spectrum was charging me $232 here at this office for internet and TV. AT&T and DirecTV is $40 each a month, and I've got a 2-year contract on it, $80. That's what? $152 cheaper. $1,500, $1,800, almost $2,000 a year just on this location. Dub is in. Diane's in. Don's in. So for those of y'all that are just joining, Dr. B calls me at 1:15 and sends me this picture, the president-elect, which Dr. B already knew, sent for him, and he was at Mar-a-Lago. There he is with Robert Kennedy Jr. So, Surgeon General or General, whatever that is, or something. Wow. We know lots of people in that administration, or if he gets in, Pete Hegseth, him, Brooke, and others. That's pretty doggone special there. He was happy as a hoodow. Robert Kennedy's kind of a small guy, isn't he? Dr. B is head and shoulders over him. They're excited. I told y'all before, when Robert Kennedy's uncle was president, they said obesity of Americans was 6%. He said the other day, when I listened to him, he said now it's 60%. He plans on changing that. That's good. You see these commercials where they're putting all these whatever in the chickens and all of that stuff. They're fixing to put a halt to all of that. He said they put stuff in cereal that's not good for our kids. Okay, so here's another news flash. Walmart, Mario Mercado brought those 2 bikes yesterday, and he said he paid $58 a piece. That's right. They're normally $78. That's $20 off. So that's what, and we need those bigger bikes, 20-inch. It's the $58 bikes. So that's what I asked that y'all start buying. Yesterday, Bill Palmer came by. I've got a whole table full of books and stuff. You know, Bill always does that. We need these children reading. So our drive is really going good. This is probably, I've never been this confident that we're going to reach our goal this early with 29 days left. We're going to hit it. We're going to go over 1,000. We're going to hit the 1,200, I do believe. Maybe more. I've still got businesses that contribute 1,000 or so every year that I got to start rounding up today, tomorrow, and Monday and Tuesday, because our next purchase is going to be 700 helmets from Amazon. I was going to say I thought we had it cheaper over there, but Amazon's going to get that, and then after we get that, that's $7,000 or $6,800, something like that. Because you got to have a helmet with every one of these bikes for these kids. It's just a given. We have to do that. Well, Larry, they let the parents buy it. Hey, I'm running this deal. You run your deal. That's what this giveaway is all about. It is a giveaway. We don't ask for any information. We don't even know your name. If you get something from the city or the government or some of these other giveaways, you got to register and fill out forms and prove how much you make or don't make. Not here. People say, well, I see some nice cars, so I've known a lot of people that drive nice cars that are bankrupt. You're fighting a losing battle if you're trying to argue with me about not helping. It's better just don't say anything and just don't help. That's your business. But everybody that listens to this, when you get up this morning and you start brushing your teeth, making up your face, ladies, or whatever, you remember I asked you to help me. And if you don't, that's on you. It's not on me anymore. And this is going to be the biggest giveaway that I've ever been part of. This is the 38th year I've done it. And we're not even touching a tenth of the families that are in poverty, below poverty in Tarrant County, which is 230,000 families. And we're going to give away 1,200 bikes. That's not even nothing. I think a lot of y'all don't know how bad it is for some families. We have to have cans of gasoline, air tanks, jumper cables. Cars don't make it through the line. We have to push them. It's sad. If you're going to come and volunteer, please dress warm and bring handkerchiefs or plenty of Kleenex, because there's no dry eyes in these giveaways. I still can't. I'm amazed at this internet. If you're using Spectrum, maybe you're happy with it. At the house this morning, when I was doing my stuff at 3 o'clock, it took 3 minutes to connect. I came in here in less than a second. It instantly worked. It's unbelievable. And at a third of the price. I was paying $232. Now I'm paying $80. 80 times 3 is $240, I guess. So almost a third. Anyway, so buy those bikes, 20-inch bikes at Walmart, $58. Tell them that's, I want 2 of them $58 bikes. That puts you a little bit over 100. We need it. The kids need it. It's kind of cool out there this morning. What else are we going to talk about? I'm going to list our sponsors now. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see the sponsors. I just have to get... I was doing real good, and then I had 2 days off. There's the bike drive. Okay, Cook's Children is going to be at the giveaway. Lots of groups, HOAs, but we need more. Bear with me. I'm not big on this this mouse thing. Okay, I'm almost. All right, here we go. Winstead Paint and Body, Clay Winstead. You need your car painted or damaged or whatever, they fix it. He's been involved with Memories for years and years. Techstar Pools, landscape and beyond. They build you a new pool or remodel yours or the area around it. You want to have a cooking place or the rock or the whatever, they do all of that. Schwartz and Hanson, Jerry Schwartz and his partner Mr. Hanson, they're architects. Rex's Bar and Grill. I need to ask Rex how much longer we have to wait to go over there and watch a football game. It's in the old Macaroni Grill, which is in the same parking lot as his other restaurant, Old South Pancake House. Another long-time supporter of everything I do. I don't even have to ask him. Raines Plumbing. If you need a plumber, these folks really know their business. Don't try to fix it yourself. Call professionals. The next one is Railhead Barbecue. That's where we're having our Saturday lunch. Over here on Montgomery and 30. Charlie Guerin. That one's no more. If you're planning on a trip, a cruise, or whatever, Passport Getaways. These folks can really save you a lot of work and wear and tear on your brain trying to figure out how to hook up all that stuff. Optimus Club of Fort Worth, they'll be setting up their tree lot here in a week or two, and they always give us a tree, a real nice tree that's probably $200. That one is no more. We need a tree service. There's Old South Pancake House. They've got one on University. It's 24/7. Then they've got the one in Burleson. That's not 24/7. Probably closes at 9 or 10 o'clock. K Ranch Roofing, Jorge and Bree. If you need to, if you think there's some damage to your roof, call them and let them come out and check it. Don't go get a ladder and try to get up there, because then you're going to need a doctor to fix your broken leg. I've done that too many times. Jenny Stewart, State Farm Insurance, wonderful people. David Hart, Hart Painting. David, when Pioneer Rest Cemetery contacted me, and that's something that we really stand behind, our group. The lady said, we've got a shed we want to put a mural on, but the shed, I guess, needs to be painted professionally first. We don't have the money to do it. And I said, no worries, let me get a hold of David Hart. He sent a crew over there at his expense and painted it. Cross Electric. You need an electrician? That's the folks to call. Okay. Fort Worth Lumber. Emily and that group have been part of our every event we do for years. If you need anything to do with lumber or plans or building, Fort Worth High Tech Signs, Jeff Jones. You need any kind of signs, and they've got graphic designers on there in the business. They take care of you. Eric at Express Dent. Dick Regester and Eric. If you got door dings, hail, damage, whatever, they can fix it. They're at White Settlement and Carroll. Dickie Carr Sand and Gravel. Well, we all know who that is. That's Pat and Richard Carr. I don't even have to ask for, I need help on this or that. Richard Carr says, I'm on the way. Hold on. Great Fort Worth people. Steve Coburn, Coburn's Catering. People say, well, they're out of business. No, they're not. They still cater parties, weddings, whatever. And they still cater stuff at the stock show or have booths out there or where they sell food. They just don't do the backstage club anymore. Bert Ladner, that's the group of realtors that Wes Williams is associated with. A-Bird, AC, and Heating, that's Dub Peacock. If you know, we're coming into the winter like this morning, the house was so cold, the bird can't stand the cold. He's born in the Amazons. So I fired the heater up, and I thought, boy, I wonder if this is going to work. It worked. But I change those filters, you know, once every 20 or 30 days. So, in fact, Dub Peacock is on the feed right now. You just call Dub, and he'll fix you up. Now, also, I talked to Scott yesterday. This thing that I'm doing with the business cards on YouTube, we're going to be doing it on Facebook too. I hope today. Scott said he'd work on it today. Okay, so that's there's Scott. Hello? Hold on. Yeah, this stupid phone, it gets to where I can't see it. It just blacks out. Why is that? Oh, it's old. It's probably a 10 or 11 or 12. See, I can't even see anything on it. Anyway, they can't hear you, but I can hear you. So I just got through. I'm on YouTube, right? Gosh, I can't believe this thing. There we go. Okay, we're here. You hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was telling everybody, I just ran through the list of sponsors. You're gonna make it to where I can do that on Facebook too, right? Oh,
I sent you the link. When you post that, it'll automatically show all of the sponsors.
Oh yeah, but it's not something I can do while I'm talking live, right?
What do you mean?
In other words, like on YouTube, I'm looking at it. It's got Dub Peacock's business card on there. They can see people that are watching me on YouTube see me, and they see that business cards.
Right. We could probably set that up. Let me talk with you offline. We'll talk about some options.
Okay. So how is y'all need to get these Christmas ornaments ordered, cause Scott's trying to keep up with the orders. If you order, can they still, if they order today, you're going to work on them this weekend?
Yeah, if I order by 5 o'clock tonight.
Okay. So what's the price on
If
them?
I order by 5 o'clock, then I'll make it tomorrow.
Okay, what's the price? They're $10 if you buy one, right?
But 10 if you buy one, 9 for two, or 8 for three or more.
Okay, so if you buy four of them, that's $32. And I'll post pictures. I was working on a deal yesterday on Ripple to display the Christmas ornaments. I was just telling the people, it's amazing how much faster this AT&T is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
And at a third of the price.
right. I switched it home. It's great.
Yeah, oh no. As soon as I came in, that's what I was telling everybody, at 3 this morning, it took almost a little over 3 minutes to connect. I mean,
Yeah.
after I refreshed it, it sits there and spins for 3 minutes. And then it finally works. And then it goes away. If you're not on it constantly, it'll go away and you have to go through that process again. I'm switching it every... What?
So check it out. Like when I put up the today graphic,
Yeah.
it takes a little bit of time, but I mean, that's like 10 times faster than it was on the old stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. And plus, it's only a third of the cost of the old stuff. I don't see how Spectrum stays in business. Okay, so we've got we're eating at Railhead on Montgomery and 30. We still need lots of volunteers. Those bikes are now $58 at Walmart. So as soon as we get through buying the 501, is next thing is going to be 700 helmets from Amazon, which is 7,000. And as soon as we get Sid Richardson Foundation's money, we finally got that ironed out yesterday. I talked to Charlie Guerin, and I was with our comptroller, Lindsay. And so as soon as we get that 5,000, and we got 3,700 coming from somebody else, I took them a bunch of money yesterday. We're going to order 700 helmets, and hopefully we can get them at $9 a piece, so be a little bit less than 7,000. And I've got checks to pick up of 1,000 or more, so I'm going to suggest that we buy 100 of those $58 bikes. That'd make $6,000 for another 100, because those are the 20-inch teenager type bikes. We've got a ton of little kids bikes, training wheel bikes, and we've got adult bikes or teenager bikes, but we need to concentrate on 20 and up. And helmets and toys. Bill Palmer brought by 5 sack loads of books, and I mean, every sack had a lot of books. He does that every year because he thinks these children, should be reading and learning. So as they're going through the line, and I'm walking the line everywhere, I see them as they're leaving. Those children, some of them have got a soccer ball or a football. A lot of them are sitting there with that book opened up, which is what we want, because these children are our future. And just like I was telling Shelley Gardner yesterday, she came by and made a large donation. We're all kids, we're just older kids. You can remember something none of us ever forget is when you finally got your driver's license, how excited you were. Same thing to a child that gets a bike. So it's up.
The difference between boys and men is the price of their toys.
That's right. You're right. That's a good. I'm gonna steal that one. But that's the truth. That's you still men and women, when your wife does something special for you, you do something special for your wife, and honey, bring her a dozen roses she didn't think she was going to get. We're all excited when that happens. And a lot of these children, 230,000 families in Tarrant County are under poverty level. They're not worried about getting a bike. They're trying to keep the lights on to open up a can of beans. So it's up to us, and it's what we do. And y'all are part of it. You're part of something special. Larry's Kids, it's special. And it's going to go on forever. This is the 38th year. Just in 2 more years after this one, it'll be 40 years. 40 years. And there's a lot of years I didn't make the goal. There were some years that I would set the goal at 400 or 500 and we wouldn't make it. We'd get close. The lowest we ever had was really 185. I told everybody it was 205, but the truth be told, it was 185, and it wasn't the first year. It was in the 90s. But it's Fort Worth people, Tarrant County people. You know, before I had the internet, all I had were my car dealers and my detail customers. And I mean those car dealers, Jack Williams, Charlie Hillard, the McDavid brothers, the Sides brothers, the McKinneys, Doug Shaw, Jimmy Worthy, who was that? Century Chevrolet, Bill McKay, all of them on 7th Street, because my shop then and the museum then was next to the Firestone. I was there 22 years. So it ain't my first rodeo, and if you're going to volunteer, you just need to dress warm, be there by 6, bring you a thermos with coffee or whatever you want to drink, because once that gate opens, there's going to be 1,300 cars coming. So it's a big event. Police will be out there helping people get in. Fort Worth ISD, we want to thank them for letting us have the event again at Farrington. This is the 3rd year at Farrington. Fort Worth Police, Fort Worth Fire Department, they always show up to lend a hand. All of y'all, the sponsors, the vendors, it's a group effort. I'm just driving the bus. So we need to make this one special. We need to hit our goal and go over it. And all you got to do is just call your girlfriend or your buddies, say, hey, instead of going and drinking at a bar tonight, let's go buy some toys and stuff for Larry's Kids. You'll feel better, I promise you. It's supposed to start raining Sunday and Monday, and then it's going to be gone. We've got a new group of people that are going to be working on our country, and I'm excited about that. Things are going good for us here in Fort Worth, and there's no winners or losers. The current administration has been in there for almost 4 years. According to the people, they were not happy with that, so they're going to try another deal. I don't know if I've ever told y'all, but one time Paul Harvey, when I used to listen to him every day, he was talking about a small community somewhere, I think in Idaho or Ohio, and they would elect every year or every 2 years 2 sets of mayor and city council members. And so the way it worked, if the one that won didn't have a budget in place by 4th of July, on the 5th of July, the second group comes in. Those first ones are all terminated. And we ought to make our, you know, we talk about our athletes that are not living up to what they're getting paid for, not responsible. Well, we got a whole lot of politicians that are that way. And we get upset, but they don't care. They just keep on going. So I'm hoping that we get things turned around, because it's almost impossible. I don't see how people that make, I look at the employees of mine, how do they make it? And I pay them $20 an hour and up. I don't see how you can survive on that. So everybody just tries to do what they can. So all we're doing is sharing with our fellow Tarrant County people and helping them out at Christmas time. And believe me, they appreciate it. Okay, so I'm getting a note from our Cleburne connection. I found out that it's not just one lady, it's a group of 25 or 30, she said. Okay, we've got, this is for 2 bikes, 2 helmets, and 2 toys. Brittany, you still on there? 2 bikes, 2 helmets, and 2 toys. I'm just guessing that I'll answer it right. So that'll put them at 6, 18, 21. Is that what you show? During the year 1860, there was one 2-week period where there were several things that were unrest in Fort Worth or Fort Town. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that in 100 years. September of 1860 was prior to the Civil War. Fort Worth, Fort Town back then, Fort Worth, had received a letter from a person that's family lived here in Fort Worth, but they were up north and they were on the side of the Union. They sent a letter saying these abolitionists are heading your way. They're going to try to persuade everybody to vote against secession, or to, in other words, to conform with the Union. So there was a guy named Robert Gillespie, and he was a lawyer. He was a colonel too. And so everybody back in the day, the meetings were held on the square. There wasn't any buildings anywhere they met. They just met open air on the square. And so on a Saturday at noon, on September the 11th of 1860, Robert Gillespie, they formed a committee of 100 Fort Worthians. Their job was to be discreet, but to peg these abolitionists, the folks coming from up north, so everybody could keep an eye on them. And they did that. So there was a guy that came in, Harry Gatlett, G-A-T-C-A-T, Catlett, L-E-T-T. He came to town on September 17th, and he thought that he would be greeted with, hey, some more people coming in to settle here. He was treated very rudely, and one of these committee members said, well, we need to know do you side with the Union or the Confederacy? And he said, well, I don't really think it's any of your business. And they said, well, you need to keep moving then. They ran him out of town. Fort Worth has always been known for being very gracious host and everything, but that particular time in 1860, this was just shortly before the Civil War started. Fort Worthians, we voted for secession. They didn't want these abolitionists down here. So that's just the way it was. But I hope that's what you're trying to get at. It was September, really the whole month of September, the townspeople here were very cautious about newcomers. If you wouldn't tell them your affiliation, you couldn't buy anything at the general store. You couldn't eat anywhere. They wouldn't serve you. In fact, they'd just tell you to keep moving. Now, there was also an incident on September 9th that you might be referring to. There was a guy named Willett who was going to be hung, stealing horses, robbing people. So they had him in jail, the old jail. That was the first jail. That was the little bitty jail. They had him in jail, and he escaped. But the tree they were going to hang him on, they had actually hung his father-in-law 2 weeks before. His name was Bewley. So Willett and Bewley. And they never did hear no more about Willett, where he went. But he had told an old farmer somewhere around the Irving area now that he had survived just on berries and stuff that was on the land for 60 days. Because Fort Worth, we hung a lot of people. And the bad thing about it is they would leave them hanging for days to be as a deterrent to other people. There was one when at the end of the town by the Union Pacific depot, they left people hanging there for a week. So our early day ancestors were a little bit more crude than we are, but sometimes we kind of act the same way. Scott, you got anything you want to add?
Let's see, we got, I say, Guess the Score is live.
Oh,
ready to
yeah.
go. Railhead this Saturday. Ordered by 5 o'clock. Christmas ornaments ordered by 5 o'clock tonight. We'll make them this weekend.
Is it best for if they're local? It's best for them to pick them up, or you can ship them, whatever.
Yeah, I can ship them, or if you're gonna come to one of the lunches, then we can bring them to you there, or you can pick them up at the museum.
Okay, I gotta start rearranging. I had to move everything around for the cable TV and the internet. I can't believe why anybody, if you're using Spectrum and you've got any problems, call AT&T, because it's a third of the price. We need toys, bikes, and helmets. We got 29 days. We got about 25 days, because I want to have everything in place 4 days before the giveaway. There's lots of ways you can help. You just need to jump on board. And every little bit, say, Larry, I had a lady came by here. 3 ladies, they donated $15, $5 each. But that's all right. That helps. You can buy 3 footballs at 5 and below for $15. So anyway, we've got a mission to do, something to keep us all busy. And tell your friends and neighbors, tell your people at church, or when you go to breakfast club meetings or lunches or whatever. Let everybody know. There's a lot of people that don't do Facebook. So help us out. The kids need it. We're speaking for the kids. The kids can't get on a platform and speak, so we speak for them. Okay, gotta go. Scott, you'll shut down YouTube?
I'll shut it down.
Okay. Love all of you. See you later.
See ya.
All right.